And hello there and welcome. And I apologize to you. Let me just turn this down on this light. Thanks for waiting, fellow Watford supporters, wherever you may be. Just trying to get a couple of issues sorted here because um, I just got caught a little bit square here. So let me just see if I can lower this light a little bit. Welcome to this edition of You Orns. I do hope you can hear on the You Orns pre-match. I don't have my regular microphone with me either. So there we are. Thank you very much indeed, fellow Watford supporters, for uh, joining here on the You Orns pre-match, Watford FC pre-match. My name is Omar. I do hope that you are well on this Saturday, wherever you may be across the world. And of course, we're going to be going off to Swansea City to take on the Swans in just under 25 minutes time. Watford today traveling to Swansea. They will be taking on the Swans. Watford at Swansea today in match day number 3 in the championship, wherever you may be across the world. Hello, I do hope you can hear me. But of course, we have had some audio troubles over the last couple of weeks, whether it's been here on YouTube or whether it has been on X. But I promise you, those are all sorted and you will not be having any more audio difficulties with this channel or with X. Of course, we'll be back after the match on both X and here on YouTube with the You Orns post-match. I want to say you probably have seen the lineup by now. What do you think about this starting lineup from Pezzo today for the lads? The Golden Boys line up like this. It's going to be, of course, Egil Sovic in goal between the sticks. Then we've got across that back line in Gakia, Aline, Kevin, James Abankwa, and Mark Bowler. It looks like it could be a back five. It could be a back four. But Aline, or Elaine, as he's pronounced his name, is going to be in that lineup to start with. And it's interesting. It's interesting. We know that there's no loser today. And thank you, Matt, for letting us know that the audio is perfect on YouTube. Thank you very much indeed. The Watford Way says 2-0 Orns, win for me. The Watford Way chimes in with that. Thank you, Watford Way. And Matt, thank you once again, as ever, for your contributions. The rest of this lineup today is as follows. We've got in the middle of the park, Sissoko and Kayembe, and then your forward line today, and Cipriano as well is in the mix as well. And your forward line obviously involves Irakunda, and of course Kayembe is in the forward line, excuse me, and Irakunda. And well, we may probably have Sissoko in the front line. I don't know. I really don't know. Sissoko may be on the right side, and Irakunda on the left side, and Luca in the middle of that front three. That's probably how it lines up. It seems to me, fellow Watford supporters, one of two things, because you've got Elaine in there. I think that there's going to be a use of Cipriano either in the holding midfield role or perhaps he might be utilized further up front. It's hard to say because a lot of these players are very versatile. Now, some people get very upset with the fact that Barr is not in the starting lineup. Are you one of them? Because I don't see really what the issue is. There were some commentators last week who were really upset or perturbed that Quadro Barr was not starting these matches. I'm not an alarmist about that. I'm not thinking that. He is coming off the bench again today. Dumbi is on the bench as well. Semedo on the bench. Morris, as you might expect, on the bench. Andrews on the bench. And someone by the name, I can't pronounce his name, Sangrajka is on the bench, and Deli Bashiru and Vata on the bench as well. Not surprised. I'm not surprised that Quadro Bar's coming off the bench. It's not that Quadro Bar isn't great. It's not that Quadro Bar shouldn't be starting. Perhaps he should be starting. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at what he did against Norwich. When he came off the bench against Norwich, he just looked lethal out there. He looked terrific out there. And if you look at his start against Charlton, apart from a few early forays in that first half, he wasn't his usual dynamic, snappy self. And so the game against QPR last week, he didn't start that one either. Came off the bench, looked really good, came alive in the 80th minute at least. And look, you've got to remember, Quadro Bar had a 2.5 month, nearly 3 month injury layoff. He's still coming back from that injury. He really is. Even though he's looking pretty darn good out there, he had the slip against Charlton. We'll see. I don't really want to say that this is some crisis um, at Vicarage Road that Pogba is not starting the games. Now, look, does that mean that Pezzo doesn't have plans for him? No. Does that mean that Pezzo, on the other hand, might be looking to? I don't know. I'm not even going to say that he's looking to offload Bar on loan because that's ridiculous. So I'm not even going to go there, although I've just mentioned it. But I really think that what this head coach is doing is being versatile. I think he's trying to find out who fits and who doesn't in terms of starting and coming off the bench. I was surprised to see Elaine starting the game. I'm surprised to see him in there. And I don't know if he's using a back five. I don't know if he's using Elaine in that back four and then using Cipriano as a holder and having him go forward. I don't know what's happening there because Ngakia might be the one going forward as well. I mean, Ngakia is probably on the right side. Bowler's probably on the left side, and then you've got Kevin and Abankwa. They're both in the side, so they're going to be they're going to be clearly centre back pairing. So where does that leave Elaine, and where does that leave? Who knows? It's just interesting to see. We'll see how the lineup goes. It's usually a 4-3-3, but we'll see. We'll see about the lineup. But look, those are your Watford players who are taking an active involvement in the game today against Swansea. So what do you think is going on here with the formation? Well, Matt says, I just checked the formation on BBC Sports website, and it says Watford's formation is a 3-4-2-1. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It may well be. The BBC will say that. Thank you, Matt, for your contribution. But we'll see what it actually is once the game starts. It may well be a 3-4-2-1. It's interesting because, of course, Imran Louza is starting the first of his 3-match ban. Watford did not appeal the red card, and why would they have? It would have been a waste of an appeal. And as such, of course, Imran Louza now, who could have helped you today, starts, of course, his 3-match ban. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll see what the formation is as they line up actually when the game gets started in just under 15 or so minutes, just over 15 or so minutes time. Thank you very much indeed for joining me here on You ORNS pre-match. It is very early in the morning here in San Francisco, California. So I guess I shouldn't really be talking that loudly. Don't want to wake up the neighbors, but you can hear me. And as long as you can, I thank you very much for that on this brand new edition of the You ORNS pre-match. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, to Substack. I hope you're doing that because if you have subscribed to Substack, you will have seen the articles that I have been writing on Substack, and you will also have seen some videos that I've posted off of YouTube, but soon will be coming directly from Substack. So please do subscribe to Substack right now. I would really appreciate it, and you'll be able to read a lot of the articles that I am writing, and certainly I think that you will see a lot of extra things on Substack that you won't see here on YouTube. So thank you very much indeed. Your predictions, please. I'm gonna just put up in the chat the address for the website to subscribe to. So please, and I've already misspelt the word please. So it is early in the morning here. It's very early in the morning. So that's the correction. But thank you very much indeed for joining. I know it is afternoon where you are, I'm assuming. Here it is very early in the morning. So thank you very much indeed for joining here. One other thing, really, before we get going in the next few minutes, of course, the game is underway in about 15 minutes or so. Give me a score prediction. The Watford way has already done that. A 2-0 win for the Orns. What's your prediction? I predicted a 1-1 scoreline yesterday on the You ORNS Friday Focus. I think Swansea are going to be difficult to break down. They won last week in a late winner, I think, at home. And so they're playing at home again for a second consecutive weekend. Swansea, of course, have given us a lot of trouble when we have played them away from home in recent years. We lost to them last season by a score of 1-0, where we played one of our poorest games of the season. So we'll see how Watford fare today. Swansea have undergone a lot of change over the last year or last season or so. They have, I think, they're moving around 15 different players that are going to be exiting from Swansea between now and the 1st of September, which of course is the deadline for the transfer market. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this season. And they've got a new signing that one of the new signings they brought in is supposed to be a very electrifying player. So we'll see what happens with him. And there are a couple of players that are going to be a real thorn in Watford's side. They have a relatively new manager, Alan Sheehan, who is at the helm. And also, they have, as I said, transitioned a lot of players away. It will be very interesting to see how they fare this whole season, Swansea. They're a team who do sneak up on you, and they should not be taken for granted. And the number one thing that I think that Watford need, especially on their away travels, is to get on to a good start, get on the good foot, as James Brown would say many years ago, and get off to a good start. Really, really important to continue the good starts. They did that last weekend against Queen's Park Rangers, did our lads. And so I'm really, really hoping that they continue that good start mode. I know that when you're the away team, you often soak up a lot of pressure from the home side, and Watford may well be doing that in a lot of patches of this game today. But one thing Watford must not do is start this game poorly, because if they don't start the game well, it's going to be a long day, especially when you're away from home. Watford have to build on what they did last week, especially the first half of what they did last week, and take the blueprint of what they did in the second half, where they defended stalwartly, defended very well, into the game as well. And so they need to be able to apply what they do on both sides of the ball. And if Watford can apply what they did on both sides of the ball against Queen's Park Rangers in this game today against the Swansea City side, who are going to be very much up for it, then I think it could be a good day for Watford. It really could be a really good day for Watford. But I am sticking to my guns on a 1-1 draw. And I predicted a 1-1 draw last week, got that one wrong. So maybe I'll get this one wrong as well. And maybe we'll have a Watford win today. But I'm going with a 1-1 draw today. Matt is going 2-1 Watford. I'm going to say 2-1 Watford, Matt says, as long as we start strong in the first half, like we did last weekend. Matt, thank you very much indeed for your comment. And that start is the key. As I've said, as Matt has added, um, that start is the key today. You have to start this game well. If you do not start the game well, it's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, Watford must be proactive today, especially away from home. Our home record, well, that's mixed in recent months, isn't it? And our away record is very poor. Did not play very well against Charlton. We didn't play badly against Charlton. We just didn't have enough going forward against Charlton. I think that was really the criticism that I have about the Charlton game, and it was a learning lesson. But we now have to start really platforming ourselves. In some ways, you can forgive the first game of a new season, especially one away from home. But everybody's new. A lot of people were new in the game for us. And of course, Charlton as a team were new. And I predicted that Charlton would win the game because they came out very focused and very, very energetic and aggressive. And Watford need to come out very focused in this game. Even if Watford don't come out and score in the first 5 or 10 minutes, Watford need to come out focused and come out aggressive. If Watford can score in the first 15 minutes of this game, I think it will be a very important marker for Watford, and it could set them on their way to a famously good day. But again, away from home, you have to start these games well, whatever it is. Soak up the pressure. Charlton did bring us a lot of grief in that first half, but they did not score, did they? We need to keep a clean sheet in this first half of the game and build on that. Can we keep a clean sheet for the first 15 minutes, then the next 15, then the next 15? We have to take these games away from home, especially in stages. When we go away, we've got to take these games in stages. First 15 minutes, how are you dealing with the first 15 minutes of a game away from home? Maybe you're going to soak up the first 10 minutes of that 15 with pressure, right? Then how are you bringing yourself and integrating yourself into the game now away from home when you are in that first 15-minute section? Then how do you transition your game into that next 15 minutes of the first half? What are you doing going forward? What is your transition game like? What is your recovery position like? Where are the spaces on the pitch? Who are you tracking? And where are the runners when you're on the attack and going forward in transition as well? So, how you're managing these phases of the game are especially important away from home. Are you reacting to Swansea's game if they're on the front foot in the first 15 minutes? What is your game plan for that? Are you taking the initiative in those first 15 minutes of the game and having Swansea react to you? Because I really think that if Watford, and look, throughout the game, both teams are constantly reacting to each other. But I do think that if Watford are on the front foot, they really can control the tempo of this game and have Swansea react to them. Now, of course, if you're on the front foot, whichever football team you are in this contest, there's always going to be the risk that you leave yourself open at the back. So I do emphasize the importance of a Watford transition game. What is our recovery game like? What's our transition game going to be? Those things are critically important for us today, especially away when we've not had a lot of success away from home. I think we've only won two of our last 15 or 20 away matches. It's been a really poor away run. Watford have not played well away from home or fared well away from home for a number of seasons. And so we need to start to change that. I think we only had 5 or 6 away wins the entirety of last season, maybe 5. We had one at Sheffield Wednesday. We had one geez, I can't even think of the other ones at the minute. But we've had a lot of draws away from home. We had one against Ipswich. We had one against Hull City. We had one against Plymouth, which he shouldn't have had. Should have been a win. So Watford are going to have to do two things: start well and avoid conceding late goals. Now, 2 weeks running, excuse me, we have conceded some late goals. We did that against Queen's Park Rangers in the injury time portion of the first half. And of course, the previous week to start the season in the Championship against Charlton Athletic, pardon me, we did the same thing at the very end of the game. So it is very, very important that Watford stay switched on, their heads screwed on straight, and focus extra special carefully off of these set pieces. We give up a lot of goals off of set pieces. So it's very important that we stay switched on, stay together, defend together as a team as well as individually, and make sure we track these runners because we have left a load of runners open in games. And Watford have to be so careful on set pieces, defending them. Very, very switched on, very careful. That's what we have to do, especially away from home today. And so Philip Mason joins us on YouTube. Thank you, Philip. I really appreciate your comment here. Glad that Elaine is playing. Need that extra quality to improve the defending. Thank you, Philip Mason. I do appreciate your comment here on You Orn's Watford FC pre-match live on YouTube. Well, we're just a little bit more than 5 minutes away from kickoff. So I do hope that you enjoy the match. Your predictions on score. Do you want to give a score prediction today? Would love to find out what you're thinking. Matt has said a 2-1 Watford win. The Watford way has said a 2-0 Watford win. And I have said a 1-1 draw between Swansea and Watford today from Swansea City Stadium in South Wales. A cross-national trip, if you will. We go to a different nation as we cross over to Wales and take on Swansea today in South Wales. Very interesting indeed. We will see how it goes. Philip Mason has just said Swansea City 1, Watford 2. I hope. That is his prediction. No, he says the word I hope. I didn't say I hope. He did. So, Philip, thank you very much indeed for your prediction as well. Well, we will see whether it is Philip, the Watford way, and Matt who are correct. I mean, they won't all be correct because they've provided us different score lines. Although Philip and Matt have said the same score line, Watford way has said 2-0. But they all have said that Watford will win this game today. I hope they are correct. I really do. I'm going with the 1-1 draw, as I said, on the Friday Focus. And I want to thank you very much indeed for joining. We're just over 5 minutes away, once again, from kickoff. Don't forget, please subscribe to You Orns WFC1.substack.com. I'm going to type that again into the chat. And if you have subscribed, you will already have seen the stories that I've been writing. There are more to come, a lot more to come, and some videos, particularly and especially for Substack. to come as well in the next few hours and days, as a matter of fact. So please subscribe to this particular page. Click on there, subscribe, and you'll start to see the articles coming to you. And I do truly appreciate those of you who have subscribed already. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There are going to be some live videos coming on Substack as well, and some other contests as well that we'll be doing for Substack users only. Of course, the contest for the Luca contest is closed now. No more entries being accepted for that contest because the deadline was yesterday. So the last day to enter was yesterday, and I've already recorded those of you who have entered the contest regarding Luca. We'll see if Luca scores today as part of that contest. Of course, we'll give out the prize at the end of the season because it is a long season. How many goals? Of course, we'll see how Luca fares today. But 2-1 is the scoreline that many, or a number of you, a couple of you have said, and 2-0 from the Watford way. I'm going with 1-1. I want to thank you very much indeed for You ORNS pre-match live here on YouTube. It's a great pleasure to have you all here. Kickoff is about 4 minutes away. I will see you directly after this match. Of course, as soon as the match is over, please come straight here to You ORNS WFC on YouTube, and we will go from there. So thank you very much indeed, fellow Watford supporters. A pleasure having you here. My name is Omar here in San Francisco, California. It is very early in the morning, so I will keep my voice down as much as I can, but I do want to wish you a very good match day. Enjoy the game, Watford supporters. See you back here live right after the contest is over. Thank you very much indeed. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Matt, as ever, for your comments, and from the Watford way, and from Philip Mason. Thank you all very much indeed. And for those of you watching, take care now. Good luck. Be well. Subscribe to this channel. And of course, enjoy the game.